Hello everybody. Sup, it's me, it's Toons, coming at you with another live stream. Not real, well, it's like the second live stream in a while. Hey Hollow, yeah, Marsh, you can hear music. Right now we're going through we're gonna be going through a playlist of music from Sonic after the sequel. But tonight we are going to be going through a very nice Weavile guide. Something that I think has been thoroughly needed for a while, honestly. But yeah, shake my head. Alright. But I am going to be recording this, and I am going to be uploading this to YouTube probably after this, but we have a lot of stuff to go through tonight, and I'm very excited for all of it. So let me hold up, let me pull up the Pokken frame data real quick. And then we will start pretty much immediately because we're going to be in training mode for pretty much the entire night. I don't think my connection is good enough to actually do Wi-Fi matches, but that's not really the point here. So let me get the frame data. But yeah. So, starting off, we're going to be taking a look at Weavile. Weavile is a speed-focused character, focusing on high pressure, high mix, and good movement options. It has one of the fastest walk speeds in the entire game, and has one of the fastest burst gain speeds in the entire game, with the ability to get meter, very quickly drain meter from opponents, and able to buff his support and synergy gain. Who's a good dummy for this? Who's a good all-purpose dummy? Let's just go Mewtwo. Let's bully another top tier. I'll go into further depth with supports later, but for now I'm just gonna pick Eevee because Eevee's just helpful. Eevee's a good friend. So the way I'm gonna be probably like going over this like matchup, or like not matchup but guide, is I'm gonna be looking at Weavile's normals. I'm going to be looking at his normals in Duel, his normals in Field, and then look at his specials, then look at his burst, and then go into supports and stuff like that, and then probably follow with Nuetral and Oki after. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get started with his normals. Weavile has a wide selection of incredibly fast normals, which are great for pressuring the opponents from not all distances, but he especially shines in other people's spaces. So let's start with like the jabs. The jabs are good. We're gonna be starting off with 5Y and 4Y. 5Y is just a poke. It can move people forward. It can chain into itself and get a nice combo. So you do 5Y 4 times. It's just a jab. It's a good jab. It does decent damage. It can just start things off really well. You can get wall combos off of it. It's pretty good. Time to stay up all night? Oh man, I hope so. So 5Y is a solid button. It's frame 15, so it's 2 frames slower than the fastest button in the game, being what am I looking at? No, it is frame 15. Frame 15. 4Y is frame 11. So this move is this 4Y is extremely fast. It is an extremely good button. The problem being that it scales things extremely badly. That did 80 damage, so that's Poke Combo 1. So if I mash 5Y, I get a face shift. No. If I mash 5Y, I can at least hit 108 damage. With 4Y, not only do you not move forward, you get 28 less, and that scaling hurts a lot in terms of Weavile's game plan. but you can't hit people crouching. Well, ow. You can't. The jabs are a mid low, so you can't hit people crouching. You can't hit people who are pretty much above. Weavile's perfect height. So, and 5Y does move you forward a fair amount. It's a great move in the neutral, just because you can just kind of like walk forward and then just tap it, and people just kind of like have to hold it because it's pretty fast. And if he hits you with it, he can just confirm straight into a knockdown situation with 6x into knockoff. So this is crazy. Then he just gets to start his pressure. Speaking of other fast moves, which are really good in, I wouldn't say this one's great in the neutral, but let's talk about 2Y. 2Y is a low poke in low profiles moves, starting from its activation at frame 11. So it does have a Gatling. It does have a Gatling combo, but it is not true unless it's on crit. There we go. So, see there, it's true, and if it isn't there, it's not true at all. But it can be used to set up into tech throws, so that's good. Oh yeah, something to note about 5Y is you are able to counter it. 4 and 5Y are able to be counter grabbed, so. I say as I'm unable to do it, but you are able to counter grab from 4 or 5Y. And 2Y only confirms on crit, but it does low profile. And Weavile can go very low, as we'll be seeing later with his other move, with some of the other attacks. But 2Y is able to be canceled into several varieties of specials. This is not able to, but you can't get off of that, and you probably shouldn't be canceling in a taunt on hit. But you are able to confirm into Ice Punch normally just by mashing it. But you can confirm in a knockoff, which is a really good combo for a Grab Crush. 2Y is my preferred button for a Grab Crush because it provides a lot more. I think it's better than just like mashing 4Y. Yeah, it does the same damage as 4Y, but I like doing just 2Y a bit better. So now I'm gonna save 8Y for last because 8Y has a ton of stuff attached to it. So let's talk about 6Y. 6Y is one of the newer moves in the game as of Pokken DX's launch. So 6Y is this move that just kind of, yeah. Hi there, Marks. I see you Aegis Slash players with your 4Ys. But yeah, 4Y gang indeed. It's not an amazing anti-air, but it's really fast. It scales terribly though, so yeah, I think 2Y is better. Just because it can low profile. But anyway, 6Y is a move that will launch you from half screen, so about this distance you are able to hit people. It is always plus on block, funnily enough. It's from range, it is okay. It's -8 up close, but it can be up to +4 from depending on how far you do it from. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. The last patch was 1.3 of DX. So, and that was a few months ago, yeah. But the last patch was a very long time ago, so pardon me for just confusing it. But 6Y is extremely good in terms of causing pressure. It is a combo starter from if you do it far enough and you hit with the tip. Which is... There was a minor patch. Yeah, there was a minor patch in December. Oh no, is that Suicune Master? I don't know if that's him or not. Oh well. So, anyway, 6Y is extremely good. It lets you get in really quickly. It's really good if you run an attack buff support, because it's really good at just tagging people when they aren't expecting it. You can. It's a button that lets you rush in to people, and a lot of people. And this move is actually like it's really funny online. It's the old hit 'em and then grab. It's the old net play grab spectacular, but it still works offline. It can be a combo starter for if done far away. It's just a good button. I wouldn't recommend using it up close as trying to like press the button. Let's get Mewtwo to do a good old move. I probably should have picked a character with like a 9 frame, an 11. Yeah, that is the new move, Suicune Master. So done from far away, you are plus enough to Mewtwo's jab, and Mewtwo's jab I believe is frame 15. Let me check that on there. Yeah, even then it's still plus enough to for you to 4Y, so 6Y is just a very good is just a pretty good move. It gets its fair share of use, and that's really nice to see. Is that only on crit? No, it is not only on crit, but let me turn that off real quick. Yeah, 4Y still comes out. Oh, were you asking about the 2Y confirm, or were you asking about the 6Y being plus? The 6Y being plus is just always. You know what? I'm just gonna go and change my dummy real quick to not Mewtwo, because Mewtwo has a pretty slow jab. I kind of wish Pokken Training Mode would allow having command. Oh wait, no, I could just like do command input. I could just like set another Weavile or like Decidueye or something. I'll just set Decidueye to 2Y because that 2Y is extremely quick. But so we've talked about 6Y. We've talked about almost all the 4 face normals, or all 5 of the face normals. So let's talk about the big one. The big one is 8Y. 8Y is a really interesting move. It's a launcher. It's frame 17. It's decently fast. It's only 6 frames slower than a normal the fastest we have. But it lets you go into, so you can do 2 things with 8Y. You can let it rock, which is okay. You can get like some stuff off of it. With 6Y. 6Y is great. Or you could cancel it to Icicle Crash by pressing the A button. And this is going to link into the Icicle Crash stuff, because Icicle Crash is an absurdly good move. So 8Y, it's pretty quick. It is able to go over highs pretty quickly. Let's turn on. So let's just do that. Don't worry, I'll get to that. I'll get to that, Mark. You aren't going to be beating moves on reaction You are going to be beating highs on reaction with 8Y, but it's a very strong tool for, as it does leave you in Icicle Crash, and you are able to do so much off of Icicle Crash. Like, Icicle Crash, so with that, let's talk about Icicle Crash. Hello, Demon Kitty 1. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Weavile guy. So let's talk about Icicle Crash now. Icicle Crash is one of Weavile's few ranged projectiles in Duel. It's actually his only projectile in Duel, unless we want to talk about like weird properties on 6X, but you know. But Icicle Crash is extremely good. You are able to air dash 5 different directions off of it. So you're able to go back, you're able to move forward, you're able to move up, you're able to go straight back, and you're able to go straight forward. It's essentially just an anime, it's a substitute for an anime style air dash. And you are able to do jumping normals off of it, such as your cat scratch, or you are able to do the dive kick, which is just red hot. And this lets this is one of the keys to Weavile's insane air mobility, which is why I believe he's such a really strong air. Weavile is able to just go escape pressure while throwing a projectile. He's able to just leap in on you from like full screen. He's able to ride down the icicle as well. And something to note about that is that move does insane amounts of chip, but you can have some flips about that at a moment. Well, when he gets here, probably. But you are able to jump up, you are able to throw it, and then follow down with an aerial to start a combo that way. You are able to cross up people. You're able to escape while throwing out a move. And this is done by pressing the A button and then holding a direction and pressing the jump button. It's extremely strong, and it's used a ton in wall combos. So, example wall combo is just you hit them with like a move that sticks them, and then you throw the pin at them. Yeah, so example wall combo, it's pretty good. Let's talk about one thing to be wary about with Icicle Crash though, is Icicle Crash does become part of your hurt box whenever you summon it. So let's make this Duel just like do a jab. I think it's one of the, yeah, thank you. I think it's one of the few weaknesses of the move itself. You are able to be jabbed when getting hit by Icicle. And I say that, and it just makes a lie out of me. But yeah, you are able to get hit by a lot of things. You are able to get hit by like a few highs, mostly highs, honestly, with moves such as probably his hunting hotkicks, actually. Okay, huh. Wow, okay, well, make me a liar. But you are able to get hit pretty easily in situations that you probably shouldn't, but the ice does add to your hurt box, so you must be wary about that. I think we'll come back to Icicle Crash a bit more later in the combos and SG section, and probably the specials as well. But let's go into some other normals with Weavile, because Weavile has even more good normals. He has... Let's talk about his heavy normals. His heavy normals are all excellent. I love a lot of these things, and these things are extremely good. So we're going to be starting off with 5X and 5X charge. So 5X is just this claw swipe. It's a claw swipe. It's just an uppercut with a claw. It's pretty big. It causes 3 face shift points to be accumulated to your opponent, so it will start almost causing shifts. The hitbox is pretty tame. It looks like what it is. But note that you do go a little bit farther forward with charging it. Oh, it causes 4. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, really? Okay. Yeah, no, wait, I'm an idiot. I have the frame data right in front of me. What am I talking about? I have it right in front of me. Yeah. So, it does do 4. So, doing that too much will just ruin your combo. It can be, this move is used to wall splat. It's a great move on Oki because it will pierce counters. So, you can force people into block or die scenarios at the wall. So, let's just show an example of that. Oh, you can't get it to like charge counter without like doing command input. And so we do charge. It will boost, and you are able to get like a nice little combo off of it. If you are mid-screen, you are able just to convert into your specials. And you missed. Oh no. Nice plus for it, yeah. We'll be getting the specials in a moment. But speaking of other pretty good moves for Pierce and Counter and for Oki, and it's another heavy button, let's talk about Weavile's 6X. This move is pretty large. It does have it has a weird projectile property on it actually. That I'm not sure where it really comes up, but it does have a projectile property on it, which is a bit strange. But this move also is going to be piercing counters a lot. It's going to be probably one of your most used moves because of how it works. 5X and 6X are you're going to be your main options for the most part. You might throw in a little bit of 8Y. But for most Okis, you are going to be using this move to force people to block. It's not projectile, but it does delete projectile. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it does do that. You are able to use this to delete some projectiles. The timing is a bit tight, but it's there. You are able to do it. But 6X is good. It is able to be cancelled into ability incredibly easily. And agility is one of Weavile's most important tools in general, honestly, but we'll get to that in the special section. This move can be done from your chain combo, so you can do 5YY and 6X. Like a launcher, or you can do it to bait out responses, incorrect responses such as counter CAs or just or slower buttons. Something wary about for Weavile's pressure strings and 6X, you are able to jump out of pressure. So if I charge it, you are able to jump. Just in general. If I start charging, just smash that jump button. But beware when you have answers to it, so late ice punch, yeah. We can go for reset. Let's do it on block. But Ice Punch will catch instead. Yes, yeah. Demon Kitty 1, yes, there is a difference between 5 and 4Y. This is 5Y. 5Y 1 has less damage scaling and is 4 frames slower, while 4Y is this move. It does not take you a step forward. Its damage scaling is much sharper, but it comes out much faster. And it pretty much is better used on wake-up scenarios than 5Y is. 5Y is much more of a neutral button. Like, you can throw out 5Y in the neutral and everything is going to be fine. I'm too quiet? Or the game is too loud? Alright. Thank you for letting me know this. Let's turn that down a bit. Also, welcome to the stream, Mutator. So, 5Y is a good neutral button, 4Y is a good wake-up button or a good pressure button. And yeah. So, oh, something to note about 5X. Something to note about Charge 5X. 5X actually can let you low profile things. So, you are able to go low profile. So, using 5X, you're essentially, the start of the move, you are essentially crouching, and you're charging up a hitbox. So, it can be very good in situations where a character is using an Oki that's a high. Characters like Sceptile that rely on moves like their 5X and their 6X, yeah, it's pretty much just the same move. But the elbow can be low profiled, and you can just charge this in retaliation on wake up if you are feeling ballsy. Oh, okay. So let's talk about a favorite, a good old favorite of just any Weavile player. One of the oldest memes in the Pokken community. Let's talk about 2X. Let's talk about the schwa. Let's talk about the slide. So, the schwa is one of the best, like, low moves in the entire game. It puts you in a low state that is lower than crouching. So, 2X ain't that good. It's pretty good. It's one of the best crouching moves around, I think. It's Libre 2X is better. Wow. That's honestly, like, wow. Okay. That's like saying that Libre is a better character. Like, whoa, what a shock. 2X is an extremely good button. It's the best slide. I mean, I don't think Pokken has a lot of super good slides, honestly. There aren't really a lot of good slides, but Weavile's is like a half-screen slide that can like be variable, that can be variably safe on block. Let's send them to attack. Let's send them to like 2i again. But Weavile's adorable and it makes a cute sound, so it wins. See? They're equally strong. I agree. Let's set it to block. But Weavile's slide comes out at frame 15, so it's pretty fast. It is -16 on block at close range, and it causes a knockdown on hit. And it is a low and an anti-air, so it is... Okay. So it's invincible, it's invincible against highs and mid-highs on frame 1. So if you want to like beat a dive kick in a really funny way, then boy do I have a move for you. Yeah. Oh, I didn't set it to do it instantly. Darn. So shield. So at close range, you're minus 16, so you're gonna eat that punish. But at range, it gets variably safer. Wow, that didn't even hit. Okay. So, wow, that's about max range. So about from this distance, it's a pretty like decently ranged slide. You can use it to punish dive. Why are you 4Ying at negative? That's an excellent question. Because I think I'm just trying to like show off like that it's kind of safe. Nah, not really. It's -2, so you're still gonna get punished, but you're still gonna get punished if you try to press buttons, but you are able to block. So, wow, okay, like so. While you're unable to block at close range, and so at max range, which is about here, you're able to just shield it, which is pretty good. And yeah, it beats. It's pretty much just gonna beat dive kicks as well. It's going to beat aerial options. So I wish I could just like max range seems to be like really specific. Like a little bit before max range as well, you were able to shield. So this is like max range, like right over here. Like a little bit in front of it is pretty good. You're gonna get punished from about here-ish. From here you're effectively safe. And from here you are super safe. You just have to like take that mix. Anything else to note about 2X? Besides that it is... Oh. Okay, so... Weavile... So I mentioned before that Weavile will go into a low state, unmatched by a lot of things. That will go under a lot of things that most other characters won't. Weavile and Empoleon share this trait as they can go underneath Emolga. And Emolga is just a special mid low essentially. You can use 8A, 8Y, JA, 4B. Okay. You can use that to create a safe slide situation, which, I mean, that would be it's an interesting idea for an Oki. You can't really get a lot off of 2X. It's much more of a get out of danger tool because of its length, and because of its like height data. But you are able to like get certain situations to work out like that. Let's talk about... Ooh, I know. We get to talk about a really good move. We get to talk about 8X now. Another question, how good is Fake Out? We'll get to Fake Out in a moment. Because now we're going to finish off talking about X buttons, and we're gonna finish talking about heavy buttons now with 8X and 7X and 9X. All of these moves are really good. So 8X is a frame 27 overhead that is 0 on block. So yeah, you could just like throw this on shield and then just mash 4Y. 0 on block plus 16 on hit, yes. This move is absurdly safe, and it can really do some damage really quickly just because of how little scaling it has. It is invincible against lows on frame 1. It is able to anti-air and cause a ground bounce. And you can vary its distance by using 7x, which makes it like this little hop. And you can make it go extremely far with 9x, which is just this massive leap. And 8x is just right in the middle. It's a good move. This move is absurdly good. It does have 0% scaling. It's great. On air hit, let's get this Dueal jump real quick. Causes a ground bounce. So you can get like a nice little combo off of it. It's just a really good move. It's a throw crush on frame 1, so you can use this on wake up if you are incredibly sure that people are gonna throw, and you can get like a massive punish off of really greedy players. Yeah, it's just good. You can use it to go over lows in neutral as well. You could just if people are just like really intent on hitting you with a low, you can just hop over it and start a combo, and you can get some nice corner carry. It's just a really good move. So, oh man, that was terrible. Okay, but I don't believe there are any other X buttons to talk about, so let's go into field phase real quick. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some field phase stuff. So, Weavile's field phase it's pretty nice. It's really good, I think. It's a pretty simple field phase, but I think it serves his kit very well. He has a great kit for it. So let's start out with Neutral Y. Neutral Y is... We'll get to that, Marks. Don't worry. So, field Neutral Y is just 3 snowballs. You can hold the button and you can start spinning, and you can move around and create just a wide spread shot. So it's pretty okay. It comes out on frame 17, and it comes out on, in the charge version, the longest it can last is frame 99 to get the max charge. How would you field Neutral Y, Side Y, JY, easy money. Oh baby, you know it. So these snowballs they're pretty good. They're okay. They're good at like just checking people who like want to get too close or just like want to approach when they really shouldn't be. So you can just use them like as a bully tool. They don't do a ton of damage, but they hit people and they force people to block. Speaking of forcing people to block, let's talk about something stupid. Let's talk about Side Y. Weavile's Side Y is one of the dumbest moves in the entire game. So Side Y is a selection of 3 traps that just come out at a certain distance. You can hold down the button to make them go farther. So starting from this distance right here, that is not the right button. Starting from this distance, they will go pretty much full screen. And starting from here again, if you only press the button, you will get them right in front of people. These are absurdly powerful tools for Weavile's kit, as they do not go away when you hit Weavile. And they also last an extremely long time if you do land in them by accident. They last about... Not that length. You don't normally bounce out of them. But you last about a full second. Or also, a full second, also known as 43 bajillion years. Yeah. And this lets Weavile not only like get a sick confirm, but it also lets him like, it lets the player go, like they can leave the setup, they can go back home, back from the venue, get like a drink of water and a sandwich, drive all the way back to the venue, and the opponent is still gonna be trapped in that ice trap. So you can get a very nice confirm into something like knockoff or something. It's absurd. So, yeah. JY, back Y, 4A. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Something to know about how ice traps work, you can trap somebody in the ice for once, and then you can trap them once, but if they walk into the ice trap a second time, they will automatically tech fly out of it. So let's trap this Sidgewai again. They will just tech it right out of it and go far away. But like, Weavile does have the tools to confirm from most distances off of ice traps. And that main tool that you're going to be confirming off stuff is with your JY. JY is a ice ball that can be launched in several different directions. You can launch it forward, you can launch it far forward, you can launch it at a neutral distance, and you can launch it really close to you, like right in front of you. This move is really good for field phase, and I've been told that I overuse this move a ton, but it's absurdly strong. Causing a launch on hit, just anywhere near that pillar where you get hit, you are going to be launched into the air, only to get like a hard knockdown. It's an absurdly good tool. It will cause a knockdown, so you can get a knockdown on shift, so that's super helpful. So it's very strong. Other strong tools for closing distance is going to be forward Y. Forward Y is this giant lunge with a projectile in front of Weavile. So you can destroy the projectile, and Weavile's still just gonna like appear from right behind it, and he's gonna get that shift. You can also cancel the move into agility, which is very helpful. It gets rid of a lot of commitment and lets you dodge out of the way. So that's very helpful. This can also be used to set up for more conversions and getting out of the way of projectiles, so that's good. You can just make it safe. You can cancel the fake out to make it safe. You can do a lot of things off the forward eye. And similarly, it goes for back Y. Back Y is a true anti-air, so it has true anti-air frames. He has the full head and bone and everything. And this can also be canceled with agility. Oh, it's absurdly good. Yeah, it's super good for whiff punishing. It can be canceled into specials as well. Other specials as well, so you can cancel it into Night Slash. You can cancel it into agility. You can cancel it into knockoff if you're like getting that confirm. But it's just a super good move. Same can be said for back Y. Back Y is commonly used to like just confirm in a knockoff off a launcher hit. So hit him with the snowball, and then hit him with back Y, and then that just lines him up for knockoff. It's pretty good. Back Y is a true anti-air, and it can be canceled into Icicle Crash. And also the hitbox underneath Weavile is pretty massive when you're using back Y. Yeah, it's pretty large. So you can use it to call people out pretty easily if they are getting impatient. But you can't cancel the Icicle. So Icicle's really good. And what else do we have to talk about in field? Oh, we can talk about his homing, and then we'll talk about his air homing, because his air homing is a thing of stupidity and beauty. So Weavile's homing is 4 hits. You only need to press the button twice. So 3 hits for the first part, and then the last hit, the last button press, you will do a single launcher hit. Skip air homing. I will not skip air homing. Air homing is absurd, and the world must know. Your homing attack can be jump canceled. You can jump cancel it forward, backward, just general Pokken stuff, general like homing attack stuff. So Weavile's homing is also extremely quick. Yeah, it's an I-17 homing too, and it has throw armor on it. So you can use it as a throw crush. You can homing guard from it. You can use it like to just move forward. It's just good. It's a pretty nice option. It's very good. Also, like all Pokken counters, or not all counters, all Pokken homing attacks, you can charge the last hit of it to break counters and break shields. So, and shield breaks are a really important part of Weavile's game plan, so it's pretty good. It's helpful enough. It serves its purpose well as a system homing attack. And it can also hit anti-air very easily from people trying to approach from the air, so that's good. And now, let's talk about the move that makes everybody hate everybody. Everybody hates this. This move is absurd. This is JX. JX is commonly referred to as the Ice Skate. Ice Skate is really good. It's a move that used to have commitment, and now there's like no commitment. Cancel his air homing into grab. Ooh, yikes. Also JA. Some things panned out a bit better than others, to be fair. But yeah, you can do a lot of things with JX. JX is able to let you not only one. JX has 2 hits to it, so it has the initial hit, which can be canceled. So you can hit the Sidgewai, cancel the Icicle, and then like just not commit to anything. Or you could go for the full hit and get the phase shift. And that also gets you a knockdown. It also, homing cancels also let Channel Mewtwo cancel his air homing. And his JY. Why not, right? I mean, yeah. Why not? Alright, it's pretty much the definition of Weavile JX. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's really good. You're able to get pretty good conversions off of just doing JX Icicle. So you're able with speed debuff and speed buff and other accoutrements like that, you are able to get confirms by just like rocketing back into space. You can just like cancel the Icicle and throw more projectiles like that. It's not gonna be a combo, but like, you know, it just like throws something at them so they can't immediately chase you, which is good. It's just an absurdly good normal. It also it does cause hard knockdown on shift for the 2 hits. So it lets Weavile just go in, set up his Loki, and like get his damage. And yeah. That's pretty, yeah. You get like 240 damage out of JX and Burst. Yes, you're right. It's crazy. It's a great combo starter. It's a great movement tool. The only problem that JX has, I feel, is that it's extremely linear and very telegraphed. Or just like, it's extremely linear, not extremely telegraphed. Like, if you do this at full screen, you're just asking to get anti-aired. But once like you start like doing things off of Icicle in people's faces, that's when things get a little bit annoying and ambiguous. It also can like chase off of launch hits really easily. Like, let's do this one real quick. But you can confirm really easily off of just a throw and snowball from close range. And you can just chase people up into the air with it. Like, this will just, like, chase you no matter where you are. Like, it doesn't matter if you're higher than it. It'll just, like, follow you. So, let's do an example real quick. Yeah, it just follows. It's just an absurd move that has no commitment on it. It's a pretty good like field throw crush if you want to do it like that. I really enjoy like just doing that, just because throws are not able to catch jumps in this game immediately. So you're able just to like jump, and then once you see the throw, you can just JX it and then get like a combo off of it. Or just get a shift off. It's good. So... So now I think we've pretty much just gone over most of the normals that Weavile has. I'm looking over frame data. Yeah, we've gone over pretty much all of the normals that Weavile has. So let's start talking about his specials. Weavile has pretty much 5 main specials, and then he has the agility stance. You didn't look at JX. Oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah. So we briefly touched over JX and JY in field, or in Duel, but JY is a cat scratch. It is active until you land on the floor. So this can be used to bully tall characters, as I like to call it. You can bully Mewtwo, Shadow Mewtwo, Machamp, like really easily by just like jumping forward and doing this on shield. Like, and they just have to like hold the shield for all of it. It's really, really silly. JX is a standard dive kick that can be angled forward or back. So you can hold backward to angle your dive kick backward. You can angle forward or just like press the button normally to just go the furthest distance. It's a good dive kick. It's kind of your box standard dive kick, Pokken. Oh, it's not. Never mind. It's not your box standard dive kick for Pokken for JX because it will bounce off shield. So this is what I shielded real quick. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'll just like set it to block normally. So you can just bounce off shield, and you can cancel the icicle. You can go for it again. You can just like JY your way down, like, and then you can just icicle and then like go for a cross up. Like Weavile doesn't have to like come down at all sometimes. Yeah. And both of so we'll look at the frame data for JY in, well, JY is -4, so you will lose if you try to like mash stuff out of it without hitting it beforehand. But it's such an active move. It's so good. It's just a good move. JX is effectively safe depending on like how you use it. So you can use it just to get out of danger. Since you're bouncing off shield, you are in anti-air range for a lot of characters, but yeah. That can be circumvented by using your air dash, by like just falling. Yeah, just using your air dash to get out of like bad situations is what you just got to do. I think that takes care of like all like the main normal attacks so far. So yeah, I think we're just gonna go into specials now. So Weavile has 5 main specials, and he has 1 stance off of one of them. So let's start off by going over everybody's favorite move, everybody's favorite giant overhead. Let's talk about Knockoff. Knockoff is this giant claw strike that's really big. It pretty much hits at like half screen. It can hit anti-air. It's just big. This is a large arcing attack that will drain meter on hit. It will drain about 10... Yeah. Nuetral knockoff. One of the oldest memes in the Weavile community. It will drain 10 CC of meter on hit, and it will just destroy that meter. Your opponent no longer has it. Like, you can't... They just don't have it anymore, but Weavile does not gain it. It has 3 phase shift points. Yeah. It has 3 phase shift points on hits, none on block. It's pretty good. The problem is it is negative on block. It is -12. So a lot of characters are able to jab it or throw it. But because a lot of characters don't have like, well, most characters have like a move that's extremely quick that leads to high damage. You usually aren't going to be seeing like the scariest combo that they have, unless like, I don't know, it's Aegis Slash and they just 4YU. But there are certain characters that are completely unable to punish knockoff, such as Shandy, which can lead to a lot of funny things happening in that matchup. Let's see. Neutral knockoff can be canceled by holding the R button holding the shield button whenever you do it in the beginning frames during the leap. And this can be like a decent form of movement in case you ever do get debuffed. You can just like leap around. It's pretty okay. If you usually do have a debuff, you're able to air dash around too. So you can just do... You have a lot of answers if you ever get like speed debuffed in this game for Weavile. Like, movement is never a problem. And since I'm already like kind of doing it, let's talk about Night Slash. It's one of Weavile's 2 DPs essentially. Weavile has 2 main DPs. He has Night Slash and he has Taunt. And Night Slash is... I think Night Slash is really good. I like Night Slash a ton. But Night Slash is a backdash move that comes out on the hitbox for it comes out on frame 35 without charging. So, but the startup of the move does have backdash properties. So, backdash properties are not listed on this. It is a throw crush, however, so if you feel like that you need to like crush a throw, if your opponent's like looking for an OP, you can just backdash. So that's extremely good. You can cancel it with R, you can hold down the A button to make it last longer, and you can still like cancel it. You can cancel it in the block, you can cancel it just in general. Like it's good. It's not backdash property. You just lunge back. Yeah, okay. But yeah, this lets you like fake out your opponent pretty quickly because you are able just to hold it and catch any people like pressing buttons far away in neutral. It's good. It's a good move. And so now let's talk about a similar attack that is an actual DP. Let's talk about Taunt. So Taunt is indeed what we need. So Taunt is one of the best reversals around. GRRR. Not bad. Grr. Ah, yeah, if you're talking about the optimal, yeah. Don't worry, we'll get the combos in a moment. We'll get the combos after specials. No, we'll get the neutral after specials. But, yeah. So, we're going to set this is why to just, like, do a normal. And then block. So, taunt is extremely useful. Taunt is just a CA that gives you full emblem frames for when you're backing away. It is the actual DP, and similar to how Night Slash works, Night Slash will always launch people behind you, but taunt will always launch people forward, which is kind of a big note to make because these moves look incredibly similar in action. But taunt can only be activated by somebody pressing a button and activating the taunt stance. You are able, if you do activate taunt stance, you are able to jump out of the way. You are able to jump out of the way. Oh. Man, okay. Okay, Pokken training mode. Yeah, just jump out of the way. 2Y. 4Y. And Night Slash jab. 2Y, 2Y, 2Y. Into Icicle punch, into Ice Punch Oki. Oh my, it's the real optimal. Wow, man, okay. But taunt can be held for an impressive amount of iframes. It's extremely overused, but its rewards are incredible. Just being able to get massive punishes with extreme amounts of corner carry is just simply great for Weavile to have. On, yeah. Yeah, missed it. Yeah, 4Y player. We get our broken moves. So taunt's really good. It makes Weavile invincible to effectively everything while he is charging. So let's set the Decidueye to do cancel into projectile. Okay. Never taunted 2x for Major Slash. Shake my head. You are pretty much fully invincible and allows you to whiff punish and get a lot of corner carry. The window for taunt is pretty large as well. You're able to get a lot of stuff off of it. Wow, I can't believe like I'm just playing another Lin player from like LT, like with that 2x Loki. We got Doritos. Okay. The Epic Gamer Doritos. But yeah, taunt's really strong. A note to point out, taunt, you cannot use taunt in field phase, you cannot use Ice Punch in field phase, unless you are using, like, some really tricky thermodynamic play. But I don't want to play Duel anymore. If you try to use taunt in field phase, you're just going to get Night Slash. If you want to use Ice Punch in field phase, you're just going to get knockoff. But I think this is a good, you're able to jump taunt. You're able to get, what else? Yeah. Oh yes, it also has 0 phase shift points. So adjust your combos accordingly, and you can get a lot more damage from landing a taunt in the corner. So if they are trying to match out. So that's pretty good. Let's talk about, okay. Let's talk about Ice Punch. Ice Punch is a pretty simple move, honestly. It's a 2-hit uppercut. So you have the first part, which is the uppercut, and then we have like the Haymaker. So the Haymaker can be charged for a reset. The charge haymaker will always shift. If not, it will just do... Okay, so Ice Punch has two main parts to it. It has the uppercut, which can be used as a grab crush and an anti-air. So it's not a great anti-air, but it is an anti-air. And the uppercut is 0 on block, and it causes 3 phase shift points. If you follow through with the non-charged version, you will get the haymaker, and haymaker is what? Wait a minute. No, I'm looking at something wrong. No, wait, what am I talking about? Yeah, it is minus 60 on block. I was looking at the wrong thing. My window is not wide enough, apparently. There we go. No, I'm a freaking moron. No. I can't read, apparently. Ice 8A is frame 20. It comes out on frame 23. It has throw armor, and the first hit is minus 16 on block. Man, what am I talking about? Freaking, what in the world? I can't even, like, remember frame data. I shouldn't be making this guide. 8A, the second hit, comes out a few frames after. There is room in there for you to jab if you are charging. So let's set the Decidueye to do a normal attack. But also the attack is very strong, and it will just like go through some attacks if they aren't long enough. A very common answer to charge Ice Punch is the throw, as it does not have armor or anything on it. So like if you see people charging, you're able to throw Weavile pretty easily, especially if you're at the wall. Yeah. But charge 8A, the charge second hit is going to be +8 on block, so it allows you to start your pressure as well. The uncharged hit of it is -8 on block. So you're just able to get much good returns off of it. Anything else besides it's a grab crush? Oh, and the charge hit of it pierces CAs, but not throws. Okay. But the charge hit will pierce CA, so you have to just block it. Yeah, that's kind of it for Ice Punch. It does launch on crit, yes, yeah. You are able to use this as a throw crush on Wake Up. It's not a great throw crush on Wake Up. It does have throw armor, and it will launch extremely high on crit. And you are able to cancel the second hit of Ice Punch to just get a combo. Usually you're going to be following up combos with 6Y, because 6Y will close in that distance, but you also have to time it a little bit carefully, as pressing the Y button again will just like do the follow-up on hit. So we've talked about the directional specials. Let's talk about agility. I think now is a good time to like mention agility and the moves from agility. So the moves from agility are pretty good. Agility is an attack that does not do damage. It's essentially just a dash. It's a dash that will make you invulnerable to projectiles, not to normal hits, not the throws. It will just go through projectiles. So if I can get Decidueye to use his neutral attack, the Spirit Shackle. Yeah, it will go through. It will go through if the timing. So just time it right and just go through the projectile. You can go through any move in the game that is listed as a projectile, including burst attacks. So with characters like Gardevoir, Suicune, Braixen, and Shandy, you are able to go through their burst attacks using agility. And you are able to get punishes on pretty much all of them, save for Shandy. Well, Shandy, yes, you can do it to Shandy. The timing is just much harder. But from agility, you can get several things. You are able to press a button, one of the buttons you can press the Y button to get a move called Fake Out. You can press X or A to get Fury Swipes. Or you could press a directional and a... What's the input for agility? A. All you have to do is press the A button for agility. It is his neutral special. So 5A. 5A just gets you to dash. 5A-Y is going to get you Fake Out. Fake Out is just a move that is extremely safe. Fake Out uncharged is going to... Okay. Fake Out uncharged is going to be +8 all the time. So that's extremely good. Fake Out on... Even Fake Out on charge, it is going to be +8. So that's extremely helpful. And this lets Weavile do very nasty pressure strings where he is able just to like follow up and just bully people and shield. Let's see, what else? Going into agility and pressing A or X will let you use Fury Swipes. Fury Swipes is this giant golden flurry of attacks. It's probably one of his highest damage combo enders. It will carry you forward a fair bit. It will have... Fury Swipes has 5 PSP at the end. Yes, it does go through CAs and burst attacks. It goes through any projectile move in the game. So it'll go through bursts, it'll go through projectiles, it'll go through fireballs. Well, it'll just go through anything that is listed as a projectile. So including Weavile's own counterattack, which I have neglected to mention, but Weavile's counterattack is pretty not amazing. One of the slowest moves in the game, one of the slowest counterattacks in the game at frame 39, along with Shandy tied for having the slowest attack in the game. And Weavile's is particularly vulnerable because of its animation, making him throw down his ice ball before he attacks, leading to an extended state of him without armor. It does launch on hit. So, and it does have a lot of roots on air hit, and it's really good at hitting air hit. It has a very large attack hitbox above. Uh-oh, I'm getting has the same amount of vulnerable frames as everybody else. Huh, really? CA, where are you on this frame data sheet? Standard, okay, X and A. Frame 39. This also, everybody has 7 vulnerability frames. Which also means silver CA, which is more armor. Alright, yeah, true. Weavile CA is -4 on block, but charge it is going to be +8. Entire motion, invincible from frame 1 through 8. Entire motion is 21 frames. Invincible on frame 9. Okay, and charge is counter armor on frame 1, invincible on frame 9. Wait, what? No, that's not it. No, that's burst. What am I looking at, man? Yeah. For charged X and A, it is going to have 3 phase shift points, as well as both CAs are going to be having 3 phase shift points. And you are able to counterattack dash cancel off of any charge. So it's a pretty okay CA. It's pretty slow, so I wouldn't count on it I wouldn't use it in situations in Counter Wars. Counter Wars, you will pretty much lose to everybody unless you are a lamp. So, you know, use it at your discretion. It's a CA with armor, so it's pretty good. Let's see, what else? Age of Slash's CA is also the same as Weavile's. Oh, okay. So, same frame? Alright. So, let's see. We should also go over throws, honestly. While we're here, let's just go over throws. So, Weavile's dual phase throw, it is frame 11. It is really fast. And that's like its defining trait. It has a very short range. It doesn't have... A problem with Weavile is that Weavile has these tiny little dinosaur arms. So, like, they're pretty short. So, yeah. So, it's very fast. It's very short range. Dual throw does pretty much 90. It's a decently damaging throw. You're making me cry. Why are you making me cry? Why? With that range. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very short. Like, we're over here with the Decidueye, like one of the longest range grabs in the game. It's just then Weavile just has these tiny dinosaur arms. It's like Scizor. Scizor like should have like a bigger grab range, but that's like not for this video. So, short range. It's not great. It really should only be used in the corner or in a situation where you're reacting to things or punishing. But yeah, it's not amazing. It does damage. It launches people against the wall for like more damage. So what we really want to talk about is his field phase throw, and Weavile has a really good field phase throw, I feel. So like, let's talk about this. So, it's decent. It's still short range. It does damage, but it also raises support on hit. Watch Eevee. Watch Eevee during this. It raises the meter by about an eighth. No, wait. No, yeah, an eighth. It raises the support meter by an eighth for Eevee, so it will give. Wait, let's see. LR. Increase the support gauge and field. Thanks, game. Thank you, frame data. But it will increase your... It'll increase your support gauge, which is why you really want to land a few throws if possible if you're running a high support gauge support, like Magikarp or some of the legendaries. I feel like the way it moves you through the opponent with... Yo, yeah, it can corner you. It can corner you. It can cause some, like, problems. But Weavile can actually can really mash out of... Yeah. You can mash out of a lot of things pretty easily on that. It's on shift, it's +8. So you can just, like, mash. You can just, like, mash a 4Y. You can mash a 5Y, probably. In some situations against certain characters. Cough, cough, Blastoise. Cough, cough. But you're +8, so you can just, like, mash out an attack or, like, another option. And you can, like, regain momentum there. So it's not terrible depending on your spacing. What else? Does 60 damage, it shifts. Yeah. So let's go back to the specials and let's, like, end off talking about agility and let's talk about Icicle Crash because, oh boy, we got Icicle Crash to talk about. This is, oh boy. So agility into Fury Swipes can be canceled into Fake Out to make it safe on hits. You don't want to be doing Fury Swipes on block because on block it's just bad. It's just flat out terrible. So for any version of Fury Swipes, you are going to be, if you do one version or two versions, you're going to be -20. But for the full version, you're going to be -16. So, you're still going to get punished pretty badly if you don't cancel on block. So it's easier to do like 1 or 2 hits and then like go for Fake Out if you end up matching it, or you could just like agility Fake Out to just boom. Fake Out also can like start combos, so that's kind of helpful. It's gonna scale them very hard, but you can start combos and get like a little bit of momentum off of it. You can only combo out the wall as the main thing doing it. Yeah, you can only get 4Y off of it, and 4Y doesn't move you forward, so you have to be in the corner to get that combo, but you can. Let's see. You can charge Fake Out on pretty much anything, and it'll still be +8, but it launches opponents now, and you can follow it up with a pretty much anything, honestly. You can follow it up with Fury Swipes for some big damage. You can follow it up with Knockoff to get like a launch and hard knockdown and that meter drain. Yeah, you can anti-air. The trade-off is you can now anti-air Fake Out. You can, yeah, it's much easier to anti-air because you are charging it in their face. So, yeah. Is there anything else that I'm missing for agility stuff? Chat, let me know. Because I think I've covered mostly everything. Oh yes, it does. When it's charged, it pierces. The general rule of thumb for Weavile, if you charge it, it's gonna pierce. This isn't like Charizard, where we have like a full charge-up move that doesn't pierce. If you charge it with Weavile, it's gonna pierce, and you're just gonna get pressure off it. And if it's charged, it's probably gonna leave you plus as well. That's kind of like the rule of thumb. So we should be good to move on to the next section. And I'm gonna make this an entire section because this is Icicle Crash is really important. And I'll cover the block string in combos and neutral, essentially. So let's move on into Icicle Crash and restart the music. So as I mentioned before, Icicle Crash is amazing. Icicle Crash is just a platform that you can like summon at pretty much any height. Low, high, forward, backward. I said backward. Any part of the jump. Just anytime, anywhere. It's wonderful. You can also jump off it in many different ways. You can make it an air dash. You can just go straight up. You can follow it down with a normal. You can do icicle jumps, which is just doing JY after you do the leap off of it, and that continues your momentum. Icicle jumps are extremely important for Weavile just in general because it's probably some of his best mobility options around. If you really want to, you can like just ride the icicle down. This does, and certain members of the Weavile community, being Eclipse, have gone into just great detail on how much damage this move can do when you drop on people's heads. It does 10 damage for every single tick of the move. So on block, if it passes over your block 10 times, you're taking about 100 chip. Health refill. So 3 ticks, 30 chip damage, and you're still gonna be safe. So that's great. It does great shield damage if you are riding it down. You can't really show it on the Decidueye. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I could show it on like probably Blaziken or Mewtwo. Like they get a lot of chip taken to them. Machamp gets a ton of chip taken to him. But yeah, you can get a lot of chip damage racked up really easily with it. You can just jump up and follow down with an air normal. You can dive kick. You can jump up. You can dive kick from vast distances of the screen. You can angle your dive kicks. Like using your icicle. Your icicle is your newest best friend, and you have to learn how to like hang out with him accordingly. Because like he's pretty sick. He's pretty cool. Wow, that was the first one of like the entire thing. Huh, I'm surprised I didn't do that more. But yeah, just icicle is extremely good. You can throw it at people, you can throw it you can throw it behind you. And you do this all by like pressing a direction jump button. So so just doing nothing, just holding neutral on your control stick, you're going to be just going up. If you hold to the right, Weavile is going to fly to the right, and the icicle is going to go to the left. If you go to the left with Weavile, the icicle is going to go to the right. Basically, what you're doing with the icicle is you're controlling where Weavile is going, not where the icicle is going to go. So you have to. So if you want the icicle to go a certain way, you make Weavile go the opposite direction. But this is really good for pressure, as you can just like use 8Y, summon the icicle, throw it at people, go over people. Like, it's just really, really strong. It's a strong tool in Weavile's pressure game, making him very hard to hit, making him extremely mobile and extremely quick. And icicle jump. And you can another feature of Icicle Crash is the Signal Slash. The Signal Slash is pretty important. When you're on the icicle, you can press the Y button once or twice, and it will give you a boost of support building. So you can use this on shift, like say you throw, do the animation, jump up, Signal Slash once or twice, and then It's really good after wall splat, actually. So let's do it at the wall. So you do it once, and then you can set up Oki. So let's do it. Yeah. It's just a good option to do. If you are out of danger, you can just go for it, and you can still get time to like set up your Oki. You can still get time to like just react to any approaches. Like, it's just something that you can do in like the background that like can really impact the state of a match. Let's see. Anything else that we want to note about Icicle Crash? I think I've covered most of it. You can jump off and you can still do air normals. You can jump off it and do homings. You can use it as a cancel tool. So you can dive kick off people and some of the icicle and make yourself safe. And just, yeah, it just makes you slippery. It makes you hard to hit. Besides how, wait, AY. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about nosedive. Let's talk about Weavile's nosedive stuff. So you can do this. And you can just nosedive to the ground after throwing a projectile. So you throw the projectile. This type of movement is mostly used in combos. So you do a launcher, like 8Y, and then you do 8Y, you cancel the icicle, throw the icicle, and then you nosedive. And then you're able to fall up much earlier than you would be when just falling. Nosedive is another helpful thing for Weavile's movement. So I highly recommend you take advantage of that. It lets you get more damage mid-screen. Let's try for And Icicle also has 3 facial points. And yeah, that's pretty much about it for Icicle Crash, I believe. So next we'll be moving into Nuetral and into Oki, essentially. We're going to be doing stuff with like an actual match. Well, like stuff that you do in actual matches. So let's just like roll up with good old Street Fighter 4 dance theme and like, I don't know, do more stuff. So a big part of Weavile's game is his pressure. Weavile is a super pressure-heavy character with nasty, nasty frame traps and nasty block strings, just stuff that forces it. He's oppressive. He's extremely oppressive as a character. Weavile's pressure is fake. Oh no. Well, there's a fakeness and there's a realness to it. Like, you know how? Okay, I doubt how many. I don't know how many people would know, but you guys know Yamcha from Dragon Ball FighterZ, correct? Like, he has some fake stuff, but at the same time, it's also kind of real, and you just kind of like have to hold it. Like, you know it's coming, and you know what it's pretty much going to be, but you still got to hold it. So you just got to deal with it. It's real enough that you have to deal with it a lot. So let's start out with Weavile's jab. Let's start out with some jab stuff. Stuff that links in from jab. Weavile's jab is really good. You can cancel it into massive corner carry. You can cancel it into on block. You can cancel it into into charge. You can cancel it into anti-air if they try to jump. So if they try jumping over charge X, charge 5X, charge 6X, you can just ice punch them, and then you can get your link from that. You can get a very nice block string off of fake out, so this kind of like, it's not like people know, it's not like people know it, they just don't do it, and I don't know why, because it makes dealing with this character a lot easier. Let's see. So basically, what you want to do with Weavile is you want to use a heavy button. So you use 5X, charge 5X, 6X, charge 6X, and if they block it, then you just cancel to agility and use fake. So this will leave you +8 on block, letting you do it again. And this lets you just get pretty much a lot of pressure that you want. Some things can be... Also see grab Machamps JX. Woo, okay. Not really relevant here, but, you know. No, okay. But what Weavile wants to do, he wants to just continue his pressure. So you charge up that. It can be done from no charge as well. So jab, 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 boom, boom. So this will leave you not only plus on block, but you can also, with some conditioning, you can also do with some conditioning after doing stuff. You are able... Welcome back to the stream, Marshall. Marshall's a real hero. He helped me do things, but we'll talk about that in the not video. But after conditioning enough, you can do 6X and then just let agility slide in, and then you can go. Then you can throw them. You can reset them with a... You can end up resetting them with a jab. You can reset them with a 4Y. You can reset them with a 2Y. You can, if you want to, you can't really go for an 8Y, but you know, you can go into Ice Punch because that's big. Should mention that. Oh yeah, you should mention that. Yes. Charge 6X is able to block string into every special that Weavile has besides Charge Fake Out, which is frame 33, so that's completely understandable. So you're just able to have that full block string right there, and people just kind of have to hold that, and this is where another aspect of Weavile's pressure comes in. Weavile is super adept at breaking shields, and this is extremely helpful because Weavile is an annoying little character that lives and dies by burst. So Weavile not only can get burst really quickly and annoy a lot of people into making bad decisions to try and stop him from getting burst, but he can also drain meter from people through his attacks, such as taunt and from knockoff. But because he's breaking shields a lot, he is able to just drain meter like that instead. So Weavile is able just to continue his pressure kind of unopposed unless you're running something with an attack buff. Or unless you're able to get an attack buff easily. I-33 and 12 frames of fake out cancel edge. So if charge fake out is technically I-45. So yeah, it's pretty slow. It's really good if you want to like catch people and do some extra damage, and you're and you know that they aren't going to like try and anti-air you. So there is some use. It's also really good if people start trying to CA your fake outs in general after conditioning. So instead, you can just go for the charge, and then you can like follow up with a combo of a knockoff or a other special. 5Y is really good in neutral. It's a button that moves you forward. It has a pretty nice hitbox. It's just a good button. It leads to like your damage. So that's helpful. What else? So 6Y is pretty good as well, because 6Y is really good for closing the distance if you're careful and you recognize that people are not going to be throwing projectiles. Because this move is not projectile invuln. You just have to have an open area where you can just go through with it. And then you're in their face and you're plus. Not that you're not plus, but like, you know. You're plus enough to do stuff. Uh, 4Y is good in situations where you need a check button up close, but if not, I wouldn't recommend using this button in like the neutral phase over 5Y. If you're in pressure and you're trying to get out, it's a good button for that, but 5Y outshines it when it comes to just like neutral and footsies, the footsies phase of the game. 2Y is decent enough. It's good. It's not as far as 5Y. Actually, no, it is. It pushes you back on shield as well, so you are able to do a few things with it. So, yeah. Excuse me. 8Y has very particular uses and not really in the neutral phase. But whenever you are at advantage and you're just like wanting to try and like press some buttons in people's face, going for 8Y and then canceling into Icicle is never really a bad option, honestly. Unless you're trying to do it to a CA, then like that's a bad idea, but you know. Within reason, it's a pretty good duel. Heavy buttons in neutral. Heavy buttons are kind of weird in neutral, as you don't really want to like throw them out too much. But sometimes you can catch people with the later hitboxes of 6X, as it does like push you forward and you can start your pressure, but usually it's just safer to start from 5Y. 5X is not a great neutral button, unless you like really want to call somebody out for using highs in neutral, like Scissors or Subtile players. Reminding that Icicle Crash is a projectile is really good for people who really like to approach via the air. This is also a great anti-Subtile button, as Subtiles have to go in the air to plant their traps. But to go gardening, they must go airborne, and so you can just kind of like throw icicles at them and then just continue linking that until you are in knockoff range, and you can just like smash them down to the floor, getting your Oki from the air hit. So that's helpful. 8X is a kind of weird button for neutral. It can be used to great effect if your opponent has a really long low, such as Charizard. You are able to go over the entirety of Charizard 2X by using 9X. So you can just leap over it if they are trying to like deliberately fish for stuff in neutral. 2X is not... Okay, 2X is a reaction move. 2X is used pretty much for reactions to Emolga, which you can go under, to dive kicks, which you can anti-air, and moves that things that you need to anti-air, such as certain counterattacks, certain airborne moves, just moves where you need to go like low and get under them really quickly. Then yeah, highly suggest using 2x there if you really need to get low. Knockoff hops. Knockoff is kind of a good... Okay, knockoff is a good anti-air for the most part. Like, you can just swat people out of the sky. But you have to be careful on who you do it to, as if they do end up landing and they shield it, you're going to be eating some damage. Night Slash isn't really a good neutral button unless you like really want to bait somebody to press buttons. So like you can hold it and you can bait things, but it's not amazing there. Taunt. Taunt's like the I don't want to play neutral button anymore. I don't want to play this anymore, so I'm just gonna like counter the aggression with this giant Russian move that just gets me stuff. And Ice Punch is not a neutral tool. Ice Punch is not a neutral tool. Don't use it. Don't do that. No. Stop. And let's briefly touch on Field Phase Neutral, because Field Phase Neutral is kind of important. Field Phase is mostly keep away. You're mostly going to be playing hit and run for it. So with this, you are going to be, at round start, you're going to usually like want to like scope around, see what your opponent, let your opponent make the first move before you throw out your ice traps, as this will let you dodge any projectiles for the most part, instead of just going with icicles immediately and having you just eat a beam in the face or like eat a long range projectile. Just letting you walk out of range and then throwing after your opponent makes an option is good. Other good things for neutral are JY. JY is absurd in this because you can, since you can angle it, you can just kind of like throw out a launching projectile that like can hit you from like half screen. So that's extremely helpful. And you can Tiger Knee it as well, so forward Y is pretty okay. It's really okay because it's really good because you can cancel it. Same with back Y. So if you want to anti-air somebody, you can. If you like just want to like go around, if you think your opponent's gonna like jump at you, you can like you can anti-air and then you can cancel and get it confirmed, or just get out of the way. You can just cancel out of that. You can cancel out of forward Y if you need something that's just to hit them. Neutral Y, these three snowballs are a really good check if people are just trying to approach you from the floor. They will lose outright to other projectiles, but it's pretty decent. They're a decent projectile if like you're in bully range when you're trying to like push people away or push them toward ice traps. And yeah, if you really want to like if you really want to gorilla in, you can gorilla in with like JX, and just if you think that they're gonna like try and like counter you or something, I don't know, you could just like you can just icicle and not commit to anything, because yeah, you can just icicle, nosedive, you can just icicle. You can just icicle and just throw a projectile in their way. Like, Weavile doesn't have to commit a lot in field, and it's really good. It's an extremely, like, good thing for Weavile that you can just play so hit and run and just bait your opponent into making a mistake and just overextending with an ice trap. You can cause a lot of, like, trickery by throwing ice traps and pushing them kind of towards them. And as long as you don't push them into the ice trap, you are able to get a throw, and they're just going to be fearing the ice trap because ice trap is such a powerful option. Traps are fun. They're stupid. They're really dumb. They're really good, but they're really dumb. And for some characters, you can use Icicle Crash Nosedive. Icicle Crash, I almost called it that. But you can use Icicle Nosedive strategies to chip your opponent away really easily. It doesn't work on certain characters, but it works on Tarl characters, like Garchomp, like Mewtwo, like the Mewtwo's, like Blaziken. Like, those characters get stuck a lot. Weavile has a really fast forward dash, by the way. So he has a really fast forward dash. He has a pretty okay back dash. It's okay. It's a back dash. And his side dashes are decent enough. They go pretty far. But his forward dash is extremely fast. So you are able to cover a lot of ground by forward dashing. So being careful about that can get you a lot of places. You can easily get shield breaks using fake out and stuff like that. Homing guard is really good. Side homing is also a nice pick. So also single hit of homing into snowball can also like be pretty helpful, but it is a little bit unsafe. So that's more of a mixed situation. And I think that's like a very simplified version of neutral besides air dash stuff. Air dashing is extremely useful for your mobility. I think I'm sounding like a broken record by saying this, but it's absurdly good. You can press JY to continue your momentum. It's just good. It lets you have that extra mobility and extra unpredictability when you like go over people. And you can angle your dive kick to not hit shield, so you can just like start your pressure that way. There's a lot of like ways that you can mix up your approach options with this character, and there's a lot of stuff you can do. And I think that's about it for neutral thus far. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Any other points, any other big things? Maybe I should like talk about like some more pressure stuff in general, or yeah. JA4B. Oh, yes. JA4B, the anti-air icicle is... Oh yeah, it's the anti-septile button. It's just a big anti-air projectile, as well as anti-air... Yeah. So you are able to do this as well. You are able to angle it downwards just by pressing back. Yeah, 4B, not 1B. Yeah, there we go. So 4B is just going to be holding the backwards direction on your controller, and this projectile is going to be just a downward angled projectile. It's a very aggressive angle for a projectile, and you can do a lot with it. So you can also use it to fake out people by doing this version and then throwing that version if they try to like dash in under it. You can like fake out people into wanting to jump. There's a lot of mind games to be had. And since it goes at such an angle and you're able to retreat so easily, it's a very helpful projectile. It's also Weavile's only projectile in dual phase, so use it well. And yeah, I think that's about it for main applications of tools for now. Oh, wait, no, yeah. Let's talk about, I'm going to tack on his stances, by the way. The oh-so-forgettable restores shield gauge up stance by just holding up on your controller. Weavile will enter a stance where he just kind of raises his arms. It is the stance indeed, so it is going to recover his shield gauge a little bit. Weavile having a weaker shield than a bit of the cast, having the same shield durability as Aegislash and a few others, most notably having a weak shield. So his pressure, shield break pressure is going to hurt Weavile a little bit more. And low stance is just crouching, and you're able to crouch under things. And that's about it. I think I'll do probably like two more sections, one being combo theory and then the other one being burst changes. So I'm gonna do burst changes now, because this has been going on for like 2 hours. Whoa, that's crazy. But burst changes, not a lot changes with Weavile. Weavile's super is a big frame 11 -4 super that just goes up in a cylindrical shape. So it is most notably an anti-air super. That is why you use this super. And this is very dangerous in the corner, as Weavile's pressure wants people to jump. You want people to jump out of Weavile's pressure in the corner, so you can just catch them. It is a don't press buttons burst attack, as it also is a counter super, so it does have counter armor. So it's an armored super that will crit on people trying to jump out of the way or just trying to dive kick out and hit you. And then, yeah, just catch people trying to escape your pressure in the corner. And Weavile has plenty of ways to drag people into the corner. Believe you me, we'll get to that in combo theory. But another thing that changes with Weavile is now he has a second icicle friend. So he can change up his movement in much wackier ways, much more extreme variations of what he already had. He gets a second air dash, and that's extremely good while still remaining with that nosedive. So Weavile is able to go a lot of places. This also lets him rack up a massive combo with speed buff in field phase. So he is able to cancel his icicle into another JX, into another ice skate. And then he is able just to do it 2 more times, getting a massive amount of damage just in field alone. And that's kind of about it for burst changes. He has a 100cc burst, which means he gains burst at one of the fastest rates in the entire game, with a single phase shift giving him about 40% of his burst bar. And this is why I prefer to run, and this is why I like running Special Cheer, as it gives me 40% burst for winning a round, which lets me just fill up the burst meter incredibly quickly by winning field once, which is really good. You know, we'll add that to like the sections as well for supports and cheers. Okay, let's talk about combo theory real quick. Combo theory is essentially you want to get somebody with a charged Oki attack. So 5x, 6x, 8y. If you really want to be like tricky, you can go for 8x and remain 0 on block, so you can regain advantage. 5y is pretty good. Throw is like a suboptimal way to do things, but if people are conditioned enough, you are feel free to go for it, as it is more damage as well. 2y is not amazing as an Oki. Usually you'll just want to like stick to your charge attacks, as your charge attacks will force them into a block or get hit scenario, as they will break counters. And yeah, combo theory really just depends on which move you start with. If you are starting with a charge move, feel free to cancel into agility, and use Fury Swipes, or if you're in the corner or near the wall, feel free to go into Knockoff. If you're in the corner, or you're on the other side of the screen, if you're more over here, feel free to go for X, go for the second X, and you can get a Night Slash route, where it will side swap, and you can get a side swap combo leading them to the other wall, which is always helpful, as well as make you do a little bit more damage. Thank you. It's all the power of the wall soap, man. And for launcher combos off of 8y and 5x in the corner, For 8Y, you'll want to cancel the Icicle Crash and just throw a few Icicles and then nosedive. With Burst, you do not need to nosedive for the second one, so you can just go... and then just in with the Burst, as Icicles do drag them a little bit closer to you as well, which is some pretty nice damage. You can go for... on the wall, you can go for Icicle Loops as well. Let's get a better one than that. But yeah, the most of the time you are going to be going for combos that are going to either corner carry them or hard knockdown them, so you can get your games going. If you do a launcher into knockoff will always do a hard knockdown, meaning you time to charge your Oki. So both types, so 5x and 6x itself. It also gives you time just to just use your meaties. Alright. And then yeah, I think that's and for combo theory, you'll want to end with knockoff. You'll just want to end things that will just continue your momentum. Knockoff, fury swipes, like stuff that just like keeps you going. And a big important part of Weavile is making sure you know your phase shift points. So most of the combos we have right now for Weavile usually have him using almost all of his phase shift points, but leaving about 3 left. So depending on what you do, you'll have a few left. So you can go for a throw, you can go for just a jab. Usually the safest option is usually the throw, or you want to land a taunt on a person who is expecting a throw. As if you taunt somebody, taunt does not have phase shift points, so you can just like follow up with a taunt and then just like get a little confirm. And that's pretty much it for burst changes and combo theory. So now we're going to go into the final portion of this like little area. We are going to be going into supports that I think work well with Weavile and cheer skills that work well with Weavile. Feel free if you want to use any supports or cheers that are not recommended, feel free. This is a game that allows a lot of creativity in what you can do, and a lot of options have just not been seen yet. But Weavile, being a character that gets burst extremely quickly, it wants a support that can get him burst extremely quickly. So, having a support such as Jirachi, Victini, Mew especially, having something like that will give him meter really quickly. Is just helpful. Having things that buff him as well is great. Having Mew, having Victini, having Eevee, and having the world-famous Togekiss, used by one of the best Weavile players in the United States right now, Eclipse. So Togekiss will boost Weavile's already insane speed to even more insane levels for about 10 seconds. So that's very, very good. If you would like to go much more offensive with your supports, you can go Emolga, you can go Miss Magius. I like Miss Magius a lot. Farfetch can be very helpful. And stuff like Mega Rayquaza, Mimikyu, Mega Rayquaza. If for added pressure, you can use Yveltal or Latios, but I don't really recommend those as much because they only get they're only one-time use each. Let's see what else. If you want to go unconventional, you can go Poplio, You can go, if you want to go unconventional or defensive, you can go Poplio Litten, with Poplio having a double jump buff, leading to much more interesting combo routes for Weavile, letting him get more icicles, letting him get more jump cancels on his moves, which is very interesting, which is very cool to see, but it's rarely used. And it also gives you a passive attack buff. Dragonite is a very good defensive buff, is a very good defensive support, as its range is massive. It's a massive chunk of the screen that is covered by a large amount of meteors. It's great for chip. It's great for people just like trying to use moves from a range that you don't want to. You can just walk in on them while they have to block. What else? What else like that? Mimikyu is... There have been people who have found some success with Mimikyu. Mimikyu having armor when you first activate it, and when you armor attack. And when you armor attack with it, you are able to get an attack buff, as well as incurring negative status effects on your opponent. Rotom is good for people who like to jump. Croagunk is for people who really just don't want people in their zone, but yeah. It will always give a defense debuff to people as well if you pop it in the corner. So it will also make their shields weaker. So that is a definite option for it. And if you really want defense, you can go Magikarp. And Magikarp has been... And I have been really enjoying Magikarp personally myself, especially for people who play really aggressively. As for cheers, let's talk about cheers. Cheers are... It's unorthodox as heck, but I use Umbreon from time to time. It depends on the opponent, especially ones with debuff. But Espeon also helps. Umbreon and Espeon are also very good. Umbreon is a great get off of me support. It's a good reversal support. Same with Fennekin. But I think Espeon is only okay as a support, as Espeon only like really just heals and removes debuffs, and that has a use, but it's not as useful to me as an attack buff, or as a healer, or as a healer with extra things. Alistair's use of Carp, 5Y, and Burst is extremely scary. Yes, that is extremely like terrifying pressure, and it's really good. It's very strong pressure. As Weavile is a character that can just lock you down in the corner with a jab and a super. So that's extremely good. Oh. Man, we can't select cheer in here. That's sad. Oh well. We'll just go to like a ranked menu or something. Oh, what? Single battle. So, let's look at cheers real quick. So, standard cheer it's decent enough. You can get a lot of mileage from it. I think synergy cheer is a bit weak, honestly, as you only get a very slight amount of synergy per turn, per battle, not per turn. This isn't a turn-based fighting game. This isn't a turn-based game. This isn't Pokemon. Pressure, I don't think works with Weavile very well at all. And you're hearing me being kind of negative about like these two supports, these two cheers, but we're about to get to the good stuff. Support focus is amazing for people who want to run like heavy set or who are really wanting to depend on a support. Eclipse used to use this cheer before switching to Whimsical. I used to use this support before switching back to Special. It's an extremely potent cheer if you really want to use, if you're really reliant on a certain assist. This one is Special is my personal recommendation, as this does fill your meter extremely quick. It gives you support if you need it, if you lose and you need support to like bounce back. And yeah, you are able to fill your meter extremely quickly if you win with Burst, as you get 40% of your meter back for winning. So if you use Burst and you win with Burst, then you'll already have almost half of your Burst back on the next round, and then you'll just have to get almost a single field phase change just to get Burst back, which is good. And Whimsical is seems to be a lot of people's favorite right now because of risk reward. So you will not get. It's a little bit inconsistent, and if you don't have good RNG, it might hurt. It's not as consistent as special is, but the rewards are extremely high with having support, both the support speed charged and getting half of your meter filled with like the max jackpot chance. But ultimately, the decision is up to you, and I guess now is just like anything that you think I should like make mention of or talk about before this. Yeah, I know, right? Relying on RNG, it's not my thing. It feels too inconsistent. But does anybody else have any other things to add for this guide? Or do you think we're good to end it for the night? So I think I'll take that as everybody is perfectly good with my guide, and it will not be controversial at all throughout the greater Pokken community. So I think my ending words are just going to be, Weavile is a really good character in this game. He might not be top 5, but he's definitely probably top 7, honestly. The lowest he can be is like probably 7, I think. But my personal tier list is a little bit weird, according to what the kids say. So I hope everybody has had a tier list for intro cinematics. Intro cinematics. Oh, so like Weavile intro cinematics. The one where Weavile hugs you, or like, is pretty good. The one where he slides in is adorable, and I love that. And I can't remember. No, wait. The last one's where he's just like, yeah, like, come on. It's like, okay, that one's pretty okay. I like that one because it's like an old fighting game one. It's like, that's Terry Bogard stuff. But like, I like it. Woov is fun. What the kids say, he says. I'm sorry, Marsh. I can't stop you. But thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys on YouTube for watching this video after this. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day/night, and I will hope to catch you later. Have a nice night, guys.